And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week.
Namaskar and welcome once again. And it is that time of the week and day when we have with us Padma Shri recipient Dr. Sudhir Parikh, and he is always talking about whatever his events are happening in and around the world. So, Namaskar, Dr. Parikh, how are you?
Namaskar, everyone.
So, Dr. Parikh, let's start with the tariff war with China, which is like continuing, and they have put some aircraft deliveries on hold, and US has created some exemptions. So, do you think it's getting resolved soon?
It will be. Even today, President Trump said himself that soon, in short time, it will be resolved. Mm-hmm. It means this is all negotiation tactic.
Okay.
And this is only way to come to the table and give and take. So at the end of the day, China needs USA more than USA needs China. So I think it will be resolved.
Okay.
By putting the plane delivery on hold has not much meaning because they already signed the contract to purchase, so they are liable legally to purchase. Mm-hmm. So this is all a kind of posturing before negotiation.
So I'm curious to know, like, what will happen after 90 days of
nothing
are over?
Because during 90 days, the USA will make a treaty with all the 75 different countries, and that will be according to, fair deal, kind of, USA will give some concession, they will take some concession, but USA will increase the tariff rate because that way we get some income. So far we were not getting income. So it was unfair deal. So they will do the fair deal. And at the end of the 3 months, everything will be fine. And even China will be fine. You will see that because everybody has to do the business. They cannot put business on hold forever. Mm-hmm. So all country wants to do business. That's why 75 countries came right away.
Absolutely.
To make some kind of deal, So,
what I noticed...
I think it is more, people are more concerned because a lot of, in USA also, most of the media is leftist.
Right.
And anti-Trump. So they always make kind of, you can describe anything two ways, scary way and calm way.
Right.
So this is what happening,
So, what I have noticed is all the world leaders are talking about it. But I see our Modi ji, he has been very quiet about it. So,
yeah, because he knows that whatever is going to happen, he already agreed to reduce the tariff on the USA goods, like Harley Davidson or Tesla, all other automobile, they from 100% to they're down to some, I don't know exact percentage, but they're down to quite a bit percentage. So that and the same thing. But in India's goods, I think we were only had a tariff of 4%.
Right.
So now it's almost 25%. So they will negotiate down to 10% probably. Something will happen, but India has to pay more. So India's economy will suffer a little bit in the short term. But in long term, I think everybody will be just fine. Everything gets balanced out,
Mm-hmm. But do you think he should talk to the nation to give common folks confidence?
No, but they are talking about a lot of TV channels has discussion on this tariff. But again, not from the government because government don't want to talk anything because it's still the tariff. The whole negotiation is not concluded. And without conclusion, I think government should not say anything because you never know what happens at the end, So I think there's is a right thing to do, not to address the people because not only tariff, but our economy is going down a little bit.
Right.
And our GDP is only 5 point something, So I think we are concerned about our whole economy of the whole country, and if tariff makes it worse, so if there's an increase in tariff. So, But I think Prime Minister is doing right thing, not to say anything in the public right now till everything is over.
Okay. So, Dr. Parikh, I feel like more countries are moving to mutual currency trades and balance of trade shifts. So, do you think long term, do we see US currency losing its relevance in the world?
No, I don't think so. Because see, USA has the economy is a huge economy. Number one, $30 trillion economy. Plus, USA has only country has right to print the money. You know that. Nobody else has right to print money. So all other country, if they try to print the money, they have to balance it out against the gold deposit or something. So I think there is no way dollar strategic importance of dollar goes away. And if it goes away, USA is such a powerful country because everybody depends on USA for military good hardware and military things and all those things. So they cannot afford to do that. There's no way. So I think it's all posturing. They are talking for last 20 years and nothing is happening.
Okay.
And nobody wants to do that.
Okay. So, let's move on from this and let's talk about India, Bangladesh. So tell me, does India have a real plan on how to deal with current Bangladesh, or are they stuck between tough choices?
No, I think I'm not sure because I don't have privy to our government's plan how to deal with the Bangladesh. But I'm sure India wants to have very cordial and friendly relations with the Bangladesh, even with the new administration. Because always in the diplomacy, always you try to adjust with the new administration, whether it's in Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or India. And that's what I think our Prime Minister is doing it. He went to Sri Lanka, he went to Thailand, he went to all, just to make sure that relations with India remains good. Because they all need each other to trade and do the business, economically speaking, business. So I think it should be okay, but it will take time because there is a change in the regime. President Yunus is not really permanent president yet. They are going to call for election when we don't know.
Right.
But all these things will take time.
Right. So let's talk about Trump's peace mission for Ukraine. It has it fails as Russia keeps increasing its intensity on attacking Ukraine. So is Ukraine the loser in this political game?
Well, Ukraine is no match with the Russia, right? So I think it's in the, as President Trump said during President Zelensky's visit to White House a couple of months ago, that you don't have any card to play. It means there's no leverage of Ukraine to do anything because Ukraine is 100% dependent on the USA and Europe. Europe can write a check, but cannot give any military hardware or bomb or missile or anything, and everything is come from USA. So when USA says that now it's time to, after 2 years of all this carnage, it's time to settle. And I think they should settle because by settling, what happens is, because that's why USA wanted that uranium deal in the Ukraine, because by having uranium deal, USA itself is involved in Ukraine. And so USA indirectly, USA military will be on the ground in in the Ukraine. So Russia cannot dare to again do anything there. Because otherwise Russia will be fight against the USA. And Russia doesn't want to do that.
Right.
And only thing is Russia took over some 20% of the Ukraine territory. And so between Ukraine and them, they have to somehow do some give and take. And that's called negotiation. Because once you are on the losing side, or once you cannot, your supporter like USA says that now you should settle, I mean, they should settle. And that's the fact of the life.
Okay, all right. Let's move from one party to another. And of course, this time we are going to be talking about Congress, Party India, and they recently had a convention in Gujarat. So, do you see any plans for like revamp of Congress rather than wait for BJP to fail?
No, I think what I heard from the TV news and TV discussions of experts, I think they are revamping, Congress is revamping their party because they have to do that. I mean, you cannot wait for somebody else to fail to win. You have to win yourself, and you have to have plans. So I'm sure they have some kind of revamping plan.
Okay. And then, both Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, they have been charge sheeted for their National Herald case. So, like, any comments?
No, I think that case is still not going anywhere.
Okay.
Because I think still it's kind of, I mean, of course, they were charged, they were arrested, they got bail, but
It's not going anywhere.
it's not going anywhere because there is not much, what I heard from that, there is not much evidence or documents there to charge or do anything more serious about it.
Okay. All right. So now let's move to your favorite round. That is the rapid fire round. And our first question is from Meena from New Jersey. She is asking, is the Trump fight with Harvard and American academia based on principles or just ego?
I think they are fighting because of they want to protect anti-Semitism, and they want to protect against violence. So I mean, they have points that there should not be a violence. But Harvard has also point that college is a place where when students, when they are in the college age, they are the one that they shape their own life, and they should have freedom of the speech, and so I think by doing what government is doing by cutting off the aid to the Harvard, I think personally I don't agree, because I think all the colleges should have freedom of the speech. Of course, it has to be peaceful, and cannot be any violence, or cannot be any they cannot stop a particular group of the students to go in the college or whatever. Physical violence should not be placed in protest. But I think protest for everyone has right to express their own kind of thinking and preference, and I think that's called democracy. So I think Trump administration is going a little too far to use this. I mean, what they are saying that their goal is to stop anything like anti-Semitism or any anti-thing against any group of the people. That is a good thing, but the way they are doing it, but by stopping the freedom of the speech, is not good thing.
All right, this was just a rapid fire question with yes or no answer, but you gave a wonderful explanation.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to the next question. That is from Ashok from California. He's asking, has the tariff war made us all lose focus on AI economy, and is that benefiting China? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Santosh from New Jersey is asking, are we going to see a large decrease in foreign students coming to America for studies? Yes or no?
Yes, always.
Okay. Vinod from Connecticut is asking, consumer confidence is at low point. Will that lead to a massive decrease in consumer spending? Yes or no?
Probably not, because this is all temporary thing,
Okay. Neetu from Chicago wants to know, massive wave of job cuts underway at U.S. health agencies. Will it impact quality of healthcare in U.S.? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Mona from California is asking, average life expectancy has gone to around 90. Your best practices and recommendations on lifestyle once you cross 70?
Well, of course, you have to have a medical checkup every year, if you can, and I think all the USA insurance company, they do pay for that. Regular blood checkup, try to be a kind of more vegetarian diet, and eat. You can eat the poultry or eggs or kind of some fish kind of thing if you are like to eat. You are non-vegetarian, but you must eat everything in the moderation, and drink in moderation too. And by drinking more doesn't help you. By drinking more in moderation may help you.
Okay. Since you're talking about it, just this question came to my mind. Like a lot of people talk about, especially for vegan people, you don't have like dairy products, you can't have this, you can't have that. So they say that vegan people are not getting enough protein. So is that true?
It is true.
It is?
It is true. If you go on vegan diet, you will see you will lose 20, 30 pounds in no time.
Okay.
So, and then most of the vegan, they look sicker because they lose a lot of collagen from the skin and the skin and all those things. Because I think veganism is not, I think it's too extreme for vegetarianism because by having a dairy product, unless you are allergic to dairy or unless you have some gastrointestinal problem with the dairy, I think dairy in moderation is a necessary food for human being, particularly in the children, growing adults and old age. So I personally believe that veganism doesn't help much really. I mean, they say that if you don't eat milk, but milk or cheese, it's better for you for heart and everything. I agree on that, but you don't have to. You have to eat everything in moderation.
Right.
So
moderation is the key.
So and otherwise you lose a lot of nutrients.
Right.
You are deprived yourself with a lot of nutrients. So I don't think I agree with that.
Right.
Even though I'm the founder of the vegetarian vision in USA.
Okay.
Still, I'm saying this thing.
All right. Okay, so before you give out this week's message, I want to remind our viewers that you can follow Dr. Sudhir Parikh on Facebook at Dr. Parikh, and you can also follow him on Twitter. The handle is SUDPARIKH. Please go ahead.
Well, dear friends, we are right now so much of news of tariff, USA tariff on the other countries, tariff war. There is news on the immigration and green card and undocumented immigration and so forth. But I think everything will settle. The tariff war will settle within next 3 to 4 months. And eventually, in long run, I think it may be probably good for all the countries, including USA. So don't get panicky, don't get excited, just calm down and watch and wait, see what happens. But as you know, that stock market was down 20% last week, and it recovered all 20% this week. So that shows that underlying economy of USA is very strong. Nothing to worry about it. Of course, if tariff changes on different countries, then business has to get used to that, figure it out, the different supply chain and so forth. And that's a part of the business. So that just live your life, enjoy your life. Summer is here, and enjoy your family. Thank you.
Thank you so much.